welcome to Outspoken end of year special. Please make some noise.
I like your face like that. Okay, it's going to be well off now, but we'll catch it up somehow. Intimating my approval by tenderly kissing the forehead, crushing my left breast. It was a combination of the pain felt by my breast tissue and the weight dealt upon my breastplate while I welcomed thoughts concerning the issue. I cast my mind back to times when I playfully plucked arms, legs, and even heads of Lego beings. Indeed, if one of us resembled those childhood friends, ascertaining an agreeable, sleep-filled position would cause less problems. But before my lips could curl to concur, I flashed back to the intimacy gained when playing the "you move your leg an inch, I'll move my knee" a smidge game. For it's not until your lover's elbow has prodded your eye, or you've heard the "no babe, you're not squashing the line," or you've bequeathed to the bed at least 3 locks of hair, lost in the battle of "I'm an individual, get me out of here." It's not until then that you can even begin to comprehend the groove. The groove being the sui generis position meticulously negotiated only between you two, like the resolution to a chess game. It could take many, or just a few moves, but like the best match game, neither party will ever lose. So again, I intimate my approval of your statement by tenderly kissing the forehead, crushing my left breast, and I think yes, maybe this bit would be best if one of us had detachable Lego limbs, but for my sins with you on this cold, warm night, I would rather wrestle endlessly, and neither one of us gain even a wink of sleep, because by the time the sun rises to breach your makeshift blinds, I would have fallen for you another 100 times.
Before you hit the garden party, consider your mood. Is it a water can or a bad cloud? You're doing your best to feel like the right weather. You know, if it stays too long, you won't look both ways when crossing the street. You try to peel it away like a towel that wipes your dirt. It shows in pictures you don't want taken. And when you talk to it, is your language loud enough to ask what dark spot you should meet it at? Will it show up in a minecart, as a shadow in a raincoat? Does it sleep next to you just to dream your plane crash into the ocean? And how much light can you touch inside yourself when no one hears how it hides in laughter that almost has you dying? This is why you started running through the marshes, noticing how grass sags around the filter bed. And bicycles understand you. They feel every bump in the road. They're chained to railings, watching cars move with speed they'll never have. And your weight keeps you slow. You can't keep up with the keep coming mornings. You see the whole moon as a creature that eats you. It takes the current out your water with the skill to drown you silently, making waves no one rides but you. If this is true, you're not the right weather. You will not go to the party.
The best thing about bad weather is that no one has to ask you what's wrong. The best thing about bad weather is that no one has to ask you what's wrong. Yeah. The best thing about bad weather is that no one has to ask you what's wrong. The best thing about bad weather is that no one has to ask you what's wrong. No one has to ask you what's wrong. No one has to
ask you what's wrong. No one has to ask you what's wrong.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm very much That's Alex Powell. Big up Anthony Anaxagorou, LuigiKarim. You guys are all amazing and beautiful. I love you all. I hope you all have a great Christmas.
I'm not as prolific as I'd like to be. But recently I've had a little good spate. And I've had some friends in trouble, so I wrote this for them. And it's clear now, you were all just part of the game. And you lost, but really you're well shot of her, so surely it's all the same. And you look at yourself like you'll burn up with the shame. But you will find in time your fear goes along with your blame. And I'll be here for as long as you need a friend. I don't mind the time you take to feel alright again. It's very easy to lose your patience and grace. Try now to stay clear of her. Give your grief some space. She may always be there, that girl who holds your heart in her fist. How I loathe her, I envy her for making you feel like this. As long as you need a friend, I don't mind the time you take to feel alright again. Every time it seems at an end, that weary cycle it comes round again, sneaking through your bones and limbs to draw you down, down again. Look up, I am waiting. Look up, I am still saying, oh, I'll be here as long as you need a friend. I don't mind the time you take to feel alright again.
Yeah, so this poem is called Cupcakes or Scones. I see them, frost or snow on Saturday nights, long socks and stockings and jumpers and ties, badges and laces and rucksacks and lies. Tell me, why is the school disco our most popular club night? In England, this is the #1 weekend retreat. Lines of over 18s dressed like sexy 13s, standing in school skirts as men get aroused at the thought of these naughty girl uniform crowds. Oi, oi, girls, he shouts. I don't get it. I remember the warnings. Gates closed at lunch because this pervert was stalking us, and 2 of my friends had already been flashed, and as I walked home from school, I noticed a van. At the corner, at the road, a guy in the window, tongue between fingers, whistling blows, signing me blowjobs as I stood in my school clothes. Up in the pace, I sprint down the road, scared shitless. Now, 13 years later, you want me to wear the same uniform, then to turn on grown men's stares. The school disco club night, we come in our hordes, get low with a schoolgirl without breaking laws, so I can get chatted up by some dribbling men who like looking at me, looking like I looked in year 10. I don't get it. I'd rather dance dressed as a woman. And if I want to look sexy, I want to look like a woman. I'd rather be chatted up as a woman, and if I make perverts stare, well, they should stare at a woman. Because I like being a woman, I'm not a little girl. And years passing me by aren't the end of the world. And my life as a woman is the best that it's been, and I like being me. I don't want to be 16 again, worrying about school tests and coolness and spots. I don't want to wear school skirts or flirt in my pop socks, as I'm told every day to obsess to back then, but I'd rather live life as a woman. Still, I see them in lines on Saturday afternoon, sitting with friends in modern new tea rooms. The cupcake is back. This is bacon's new black. Pastel shade the icing and sprinkles on stacks. This new female fad is jamming up Twitter. Recipes, sprinkling candies with glitter. I don't get it. I remember the parties. The last time I ate those, I was still using potties, grabbing at bowls of soggy chip dippers, pineapple cheese sticks and soft chocolate fingers, and in the middle of the table, making us sick, sweet little cupcakes with glittery bits. Now, 20 years later, this cupcake is back. As women sit nibbling party girl snacks, and I don't actually mind cupcakes. I'm just a bit tired of every female fad telling me I should still be a child. Wrinkle cream, anti-age on female shop aisles. Now even our food has copied the style. Jelly is back, cupcakes are back, and beside all Topshop tills are those lollipop stacks. Big bowls of bubble gum for full grown-up mummies next to pop socks and cherries. Why not nappies and dummies? Telling us to be younger and girly and sweet and quiet and good and thankful for treats. I don't get it. I'd rather eat food for a woman. And if I want to meet friends, I want to meet as a woman. I'd rather drink afternoon tea as a woman, laugh and be happy and free as a woman, because I like being a woman. I'm not a little girl, and years passing me by at the end of the world, and my life as a woman is the best that it's been, and I like being me. I don't want to be 3 again, with cakes held before me as bribes to be good, and fingers grabbing at soggy licked food, as I'm told every day to obsess to back then, but I'd rather live life as a woman. I don't want to wear pop socks, I'd rather have tights on. I don't want to wear school clothes, I'd rather have mine on. I don't want to pretend. I know that time's gone, and I don't really want cupcakes. I'd rather have scones, or any fucking cake without fairy wings on. And it might be a surprise, but I like being a woman. I like looking like a woman, dancing, feeling sexy or caressing as a woman. I like eating like a woman, meeting friends like a woman, being treated, being pleased and being pleased to be a woman. And with each day I'm getting older, and only death will stop that. And I can go with it and live life looking back. And I can raise my little girl to think her meaning stops at 20, dreaming never land at ticking clocks are all the enemy. And this little girly culture's kind of helping with that step. School uniform parties, cupcakes, Botox, tucks and stress. Obsessed with being young again, as if those days are best, as if Alice stayed down the hole and never left again. Frozen in tea party time. Mad Hatters, mice and children's rhymes, never woman, girls for life, lollipops and glittered icing. For me, that life is not enticing, so just in case you don't hear right, I'll say it twice again. I like living life as a woman. I'm looking forward to living life as a woman. Thank you.
Sometimes you will get kicked out of a black cab at the venue where the last show is. And that will be mediocre indie rappers moonlighting as bad poets. Failed actors turned blacksmith. Showmanship and trapped plosive, so fuck it. Call me when the coast is clear. And I'll read you what the map's showing. Because this disruption may affect your service, with zero apology factor for inconvenience that will cause to your journey. Because it's all part of the learning. Purposeless and driven right over the edge of 1,000 maddened mornings and 100,000 vicious nights. Because all of us, we're trying to grow great trees from a little life. Johnny worked his notice, then skipped town on a fixie bike. That was several years ago, and I thought I saw him last weekend by the flats, but that could have been anyone. In the circles we move in, pretty much everybody looks like that. Now, he used to say he thought the stock of stories would just run out when it seems like everyone in London's had a documentary made about them, but hey, it wasn't like that. We forgot which citadels we were guarding. It ain't about reading between the lines. It's about what's hidden in the margins. Now, London is a glass half full kind of city, and that's what we've come to love. But for some of us, that cup is full of wine. And for others of us, full of blood. And the warm weather never lasts more than a couple weeks at a time. But I'm more of a winter guy anyway. So that suits me just fine. Cheek by jowl, patchwork quilt, chessboard. Call it what you like. The point is that we live and die at the mercy of a swelling tide. And in the blink of an eye, your summer sun becomes an ice-ringed autumn moon. I always stay too long, he said. And she said, you always leave too soon. And then there were backspins to wine-soaked heady sequence with embellishment of cost. It had been quite a heavy weekend, but I could just about remember what I'd lost. A former child prodigy, desperate to be the author of his love, but he'd sell the largest of his dreams to buy the smallest bump of drugs. Doesn't know where his next meal's at, but still he's cooking raw, and that's got to make you wonder exactly what it is he's looking for. See, all of this was woods once, where hunters run in packs. Now, if you know how to catch a buzz, then kill it, that's the other swag. We learnt our craft. Damn. That summer was a drag. Smiled on some, hey, we've all been there, buddy, shit. Yeah. But some of us ain't coming back. Dalston was a trap. The culture pushed out north and east to Clapton in a warehouse flat, and the squats that once were ran as social centres and headquarters was soon acquired for development and traded no rent for running water, and that's all a contradiction. There's razor wire around the Olympic Park. There are yuppie apartments where the ships embarked, and there are children there with broken hearts. There's a serial killer in those wedge heels we all had heard were in that season, lost track of bodies she'd left bleeding, and lost track of what had been the reason. And her last dance partner asked if she would ever settle down. I haven't seen him since, and I'm not sure if he's living now. I told Tem down at the Brick Lounge to rack us up another round, and we all signed that late licence petition they had. But that strategy was never sound, and the topography of Old Street Roundabout apparently renders it the windiest in town. I always meant to ask you how you knew that, but the moment's never found. And we've got armed police in our train stations now, and other awful trends. So this goes out to all my friends. Because honestly, it's next year or it's never. Or it's the next year. Or the next year. Or the next year. Or it's never. Living hand to mouth by choice because the medicine was better. Whether the profit motive or the weather, we needed something keeping us together. No more time for heroes. R.I.P. Camden. Slow at the junction. Born 100 years too late. Or soon. Or under the wrong mode of production. All of my associates were poets, revolutionists and painters and visionaries and creators and lost sheep looking for a saviour. That's basic cable. Catalogue the analogue with cattle prods. What were we all doing here? And where had all our travels gone? Then you told me over drinks that it was time for growing up. And I said, I don't think I could ever love anyone more than I love you right now. And I knew that still would not have been enough. Outspoken, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, guys.
Gonna have to let it pass. I know it hurts, but just relax. One day you'll look back and laughter. You look back and laughter. You look back and
Say, bubble down the stress. Do it like a porn star, get it off your chest. We bubble on the street like we ain't got self-respect. Screw face, you know we ain't serious. Serious, no long face like Leona. Do or do not, don't try like Yoda. 2013, change your persona. Keep that lime away from my corona light. I'm on the magic quest to be the biggest tree in the big old forest. The lady love's bosom is the one I will caress. The audience attention I arrest. But
sometimes things don't go to plan. Gravity, you will come back.
I'm in a pothole spinning my wheels.
I really know how it feels to be
Stressed and deep when it all blows up in your face and deep. Failure, bitter like tonic and gin. Don't know how to begin again. And the message said stop it. You're unattractive when you're grumpy, drop it. Put your beloved behind you. Trust me, one day you're gonna look like you laugh. 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 You're gonna have to let it pass. I know it hurts, but just relax. One day you look like you laugh. You look like you laugh. You're gonna have to let it pass. I know it hurts, but just relax. One day you look like you laugh. You look like you laugh. You're gonna have to let it pass. I know it hurts, but just relax.
poetry. And it just amazes me and sort of overwhelms me to think of the history it has taken to create this here, now, Tuesday moment. For us all to be sitting in a room together, leather sofas sort of and tables, unable to see where our great-great-grandparents had to be in the 1870s or whenever, for them to meet and make grandparents who would meet, to make parents who would meet, to make us, and we could go back and back to the beginning of time to count up all the accumulative actions that add up to this here now. But how we'd do that, I'm not sure, and it would be a bit boring. But here's the thing, right? We need to think about this shit, because we're forgetting it. Forgetting what it means to be alive right now, in the this, here, now. And I'm glad to be the one to tell you that no, we're not immortal. No matter how much green tea we drink, or how well synced all our gadgets are, or if we swap sugar for agave nectar, we are all gonna die. So let's not lie. Let's not say that we have a 65% more chance of survival if we eat this or don't drink this. However many things we tick off the do-good list, there's a twist to this myth. There's 100% certainty that one day we won't wake up. So wake up. As we say in Egyptian, Sahih el-Noom, today make a change. Live every day like it's your last, because one day you're going to be right? Like last night, I met a really lovely lobster. A bit like Sebastian the crab from The Little Mermaid, because she was bright orange with a shakier version to Danger. But this here was a Cockney lobster version. Now, I'm not a stranger to things talking that shouldn't. I see mouths moving in clouds and have told dogs to do one just to have them shout back that they'd like to take a crap on my face to improve it. They're harsh, those Labradors. So anyway, I'm not surprised when the lobster in the pan of bubbling, boiling H2O rolls those beady eyes almost out the sockets like a black pool ball about to fall in the net pockets and claim a game, and she says, I never got to go to the pissing Pacific. This may not seem specifically interesting to you. I assume you see all the sea as just being the same as every other sea, but it ain't to me. Each mile has different shades of sand and waves that spread their hands in a slightly altered pattern, and you never quite know what kind of plankton you'll be treated to as you move about. But it's me Larry. We've been married near 15 years now. He hardly leaves the house. Not that he ever did really mind. I thought I'd find a time someday, any day, one day soon, to do all those things on my to-do list, you know? The Pacific, imagine it. Maybe on a Monday. Lay on a rock in the sun for at least 4 hours, get scorched red as a lobster. I mean, like a proper lobster. I've always been so orange. Get to visit the kids in Scotland. Oh, give me your hand, love. I need to tell you this before I kiss me life goodbye. And with no thought for the serrated pincers, I gave my hand to her, and she pinched a pink finger and said, I thought it would linger forever. This, here, now. I didn't ever expect it to end, even though me nan would bend me ear off with stories of getting caught up in a cage and ending up in a pot. I just thought, mate, that is not happening to me. I've got too much shit to do first. I want to learn how to surf and that, how to spend a whole day not saying anything mean, be something that means I'm someone who's remembered somehow. And now, here, now, this, I'm in this pot now, here, and ow, it fucking burns. And it ain't my turn yet. I've still got to let my Larry take me on a whale ride, go see the kids in bloody Scotland. And then my hand stung with a strong sting, and the lobster had pinged herself out of the pan, and she was standing on the kitchen floor, and off scurrying out the door, quickened by love and fear and being so near to death. So yes, I let her go, and just had tomato with my tagliatelle. And so, why did I tell all of that through the Cockney lobster character when we could have just stuck with the poetry? Maybe irony. Now we've got ourselves into such hot water, the captures of lobster can't keep up with the orders. It's like we won't have it, that we're in such trouble. Something else must be bubbling, boiling more than us. Or maybe it was for metaphorical purposes, the terms in the story inserted as we learned lobsters have the same brains as us. See, I don't want to make too much fuss about something you probably eat now and then, but tell me, how many human couples do you know that stay together 40 years? Lobsters do, real talk. Or maybe it's because they look a bit like dinosaurs, have been around since almost dinosaurs, and I think that's cool. Whatever the reason, what I want to leave you with is simple. It's a principle we learn from day dot, but it's one that before we know it, we forgot. Be who you want to be and get where you want to go. Say what is right and kind, and take the time to love and laugh and dance and write and run and smile and ask and give and dream and create and see and change and kiss. Because if not, that day, hopefully far from the this, here, now, but it will one day be this, here, now, when the water in the pot is too hot to take and death seems less scary somehow as it becomes your this, here, now. You can leave the earth taking a bow, knowing that you played your part in creating the best this, here, now, for those yet to come. Thank you. First time.
It wasn't always like this. I mean, I didn't have to be the man in a world that loses touch with its fingers just so it can boast about having bigger hands. I mean, there was a time when you could hold me, not be conscious about the size of my muscles, or the speed of my car, or how well I could fight, but rather your concern was with how long I'd lay beside you just to tell you things my mouth was still trying to learn the language to. Because just having you there, whilst the rain gave its silver sheen to all things dry, and the couple upstairs were still afraid to understand one another. When your skin kissed mine in a dark room held together by candles, illuminating the worry that made my eyes look rich, and I would stare with too much hair on my face into the walls as if waiting for them to tell me the secret to win back the world I had lost. I mean, it won't always be like this. I won't always be struggling, and our love won't always be lost inside the pennies of tomorrow's lucky dip. Because hope sustains the soul, and everything I've ever done, I've done under the influence of dreams. Like that night when I whispered into your sleeping ear that life isn't always about following your heart, and not everyone we meet is good, in a world where love is the only war we've yet to wage. And just then, at that point, I think I fell asleep inside you. Because you smiled with those unturned eyes like all things that have ever been loved smile. And I closed the lights, holding your hand in mine, hoping that somehow I could take it with me when I passed so as to have it build the heaven I would sleep in forever. I mean, I know I'm not an easy man to be with. And I know I'm hard in places where other men are easy. And I'm quiet when really I should be loud, like at a party where everyone looks like an emancipated photograph. And handshakes are strong and plenty. Along with the, how you doing? What are you working as now? And have you gained weight? I mean, I've tried it all. I've been that guy at 3 a.m. talking circles with the last drunk, trying to help him find his addiction's weary purpose. I've stood with empty vodka bottles waiting in their glass for a lost bus that gave up on its route. I've spoken with ignorance. I've got angry at the injustices I have read until my mind has become a blister filled with all the world's poison. Yet when the politics gets too much and the racism tests my faith in humanity, I lean back into myself and I say, see everything as art, hear everything as music, and feel everything as love. I mean, when I come through the door, like a bitter draft that fell out the back of winter's long coat, and I see you standing there with a benevolence common only in things without a self. And I finally start to understand what I mean. Falling asleep inside the streams of your hair. I breathe the ocean again. I feel my heart beat and sway to the music of an orchestra conducted by a piece. And I remember my name. I mean, I could write forever, but most of my words fall on water. I mean.
Yeah, this one's for the cliches. There's a lady we all know, she's around, I'm around. She awakened my soul with a smile and a love that can make me unfold. See, your body can be real, although I emphasize she's been handmade by God. All those lips born to kiss got my heart tied in knots. Now two intertwined, yeah. I knew you'll be mine. Oh, baby, look what you made me.
I'm screaming the cliches. I'm screaming the cliches. Oh baby, look what you made me. I'm screaming the cliches. I'm screaming the cliches. So I wonder, I try to roll, but the thoughts that I have, they are lost with no hope. There's no key left for me. I'm stood out in the dark. When she's gone now, there's this place in my head, on my heart, that she's opened and left. There's no key left for me. I'm stood out in the dark. Now two intertwined, yeah, yeah. I knew you'd be mine. Oh baby, look what you made me. I'm screaming the cliche. I'm screaming the cliche. Oh baby, look what you made me. I'm screaming the cliche. I'm screaming the cliche. Imagine I'd ever write a song quite like this. Told you. It's heaven, it's magic. Oh, 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 baby, look what you made me. I'm screaming the cliche. I'm screaming the cliche. Oh baby, yeah, yeah. Look what you made me. I'm screaming the cliche. I'm screaming the cliche.